Guys, I'm going to keep this one kind of short and kind of towards Klein tools, if you will. I'm going with the CL800. CL800 as opposed to CL900. Just looking at your specs here, they both fall under Cat 4 and Cat 3 ratings, so they're even up on that one. They've got the same testing. Now, I spoke to the engineer there at Klein Tools. He gave me a call back. That was nice of him, and informed me of he answered quite a few of my questions. The temperature range, we'll get to that one. It does have inrush. You just got to get to it through a couple of steps, 2 or 3 steps, and you'll get your inrush out of it, which is awesome. I mean, if you're not using inrush much, you don't need to go to there. You have the benefit of an extra flashlight, a work light, if you will. That little light might come in handy. I'm sure it will. You're matching up with everything else. Everything else is matching up. You do have a temperature probe, and like I said, I'll get to that. Now you have DC millivolts inside the 800. So yes, this one gives you the advantage, the 900, of a fast inrush reading. Again, the 800 will do it also, but you've got to go through a few steps, as reported to me by the engineer, and I'm sure it will do it. I've had meters that you had to do a few steps to get the inrush to lock in that cycle time, showing it. And let's go to the next tab. So let's jump to the 600. We're looking at the 600 manual. Let me scroll up and show that to you. The 800 rather. We're looking at the 800 manual. Where did I get to see? Oh, 600 volts where I came from. So you see his specs are coming out the same as your 9. Let me pull a 900 next to it. So this is 900. This is the manual that was snatched this up from. Now talk to him about the certification. They can send me a sticker showing it's at the factory. It's done at the factory, not anywhere else. They're just following standards from Intertech and CE. So if you trust a Harbor Freight tool to follow those standards, you're doing an amazing thing there, because it come out of China, right? Chinese don't, what are you going to do, sue the Chinese people? Go to China and sue them? No, I think Klein will have more to lose being a U.S.-based company. With that said, I have seen, Harbor Freight lose in court if you can find their studies. I mean, their case losses. I have found them. All right, so now you see the CAT rating, double insulated. Double insulated. We're coming up to the same thing. It's a Cat 3 is capable to test and measure circuits connected to the distribution panel of the building's low voltage mains installation. Cat 4 rather. Measurement category Cat 4 is applicable to test and measure circuits connected to the source of the building low voltage mains installation. Electromagnetic environment. This can, it meets that requirement now. Here's your accuracy of your functions. We're going to show you this 900 right next to it. And we're at AC volts, so plus or minus 1% at 8 digits, plus or minus 1.5. So you see your accuracy. We're at electrical specifications one more time. So you see accuracy just slightly, let's see, 8 digits is 1%. You're off by 0.5% with the 800. So let's go up or down, and we're at volts, right? So that's a 6 volts. You can be off by that much. So you can be reading 7.5, or you can be reading 4.5, could be the real reading, what you see, but it can be off. It could be really 6 volts. So you see that your multimeters can get you in trouble if you really need some real accuracy down there at the 6 volt range. The bigger your range. And here's your DC. You're going to be plus or minus 1%. And that's with the 800. And here's the 900. This is the 900, I believe, because I had it to the left. And now you see that you're, right, 600 millivolts. Let's go back to this one. At 60 volts, you're plus or minus 1% at 3 digits. And that's the 800. And here is the 900. You're plus or minus 1% at 3 digits. So there we are again. If you're trying to pull down the accuracy for AC voltage at 60 volts or 600 volts, the range, you're at 1.2, and at 900 you're at 1.25 digits. So I just thought I saw a change here. Let me verify that right here. 1 millivolt, 1.5%. That's the 800. Here's the 900, 1%. All right, 1, 1.2, 1.9. So you're getting a little more accuracy out of the 900 if you into a non-multimeter product. All right, now here we go. Now here's a frequency. You're 50 to this is under ohms. 50 to 400 megahertz is the 600. As we scroll down here, is 50 to 400 hertz. This is also hertz. I don't know if I just said megahertz a second ago. Your accuracy specifications 5% to 100% of the measurement range. So 100 volts. One time, let's go back to that one. The 900s gives you an asterisk under 600 millivolts with the 5%. This does not have millivolts. So if you need millivolts, you need to go to the 900. It doesn't give a range of that at all, but the accuracy is going to be off 5%. Okay, electrical specifications. Moving on from there. AC. All right, so that's your volts AC. You're at, let's jump to, 600 volts, you're going to be 1.2%. And I feel like we did this one already. Maybe it's because I did it with a guy, and now I'm doing it with you. 1.2%. And at DC, at 60 volts, you're at plus or minus 1%. And plus or minus 1%. So if you got a 60 volt, you can be off by 1% on that. So you've got to keep that in mind when you're dealing with this. That'd be 0.6 volts, right? 0.6 volts on that. You could be off on the DC, which isn't that bad. Let's go back to verifying this. And AC current, true RMS. So here's your true RMS, which is really cool to be able to follow your frequency to see how smooth your electric is with the fluorescence, etc. So you can see that your current coming in is smooth, your light is flickering. You can probably assume it's your light that has an issue, your ballast, etc. All right, AC current, 60 amps, we're at 2%. AC current on this, we're at 2%, 2.5. Let's look at that. All right, so we're actually getting more accuracy out of the 800 than we are out of the 900. The 900 is giving us 2.5% variation on DCA. Let's see, DCA, CDC, and we're at 2% there. 2.5 when we get to, well, that's way up there. I don't think you're going to be worried about that. And probably DC, you won't be worrying about that. So you're down here at 2% on that one. So I would say, now you're good. It goes out to 8 digits, and this one goes out to 5 digits. The 800 is just coming around. It's just an all-around better work tool. It's more accurate. Now this 2% is, that's nothing to cry about. If you've got to keep that in your mind that you have a 2% issue there. Don't forget that when you see that. Don't think that you're coming up high or low. You might be right on the money. Resistance is your range, plus or minus 1.5% and 2% at this point. And that's the 800, 900. We'll hit this down here real quickly, and we're at the same thing. All right, let's see your capacitors, 5, 3, and 5. We're nailing the same thing. Temperatures, So the temperature, we're going to move on from there because I'm going to hit that separately. I'll hit it now, rather. If you're saying you're measuring inside a refrigerator for some odd reason, 33 to, well, it doesn't matter. It all falls in the same range here. But 14 to 32 degrees Fahrenheit, you're going to be plus or minus 2%. A margin of error, plus 9 degrees Fahrenheit is still going to be off. So you're not going to use these for temperature ranging at all. You're wasting your time. Do not use these for temperature raising. You're way off. 5.4 plus or minus 1%. Also, in addition to that, you add the 5.4% error, plus or minus on that. This is all plus or minus. So you can see the range, temperatures on the gauges are ludicrous, to say the least. Frequency. So this thing is going to have the same frequency, plus or minus 1%. You're going to have to come over here and find this variances. Here's your duty cycle, 10%. You're not going to just keep this thing connected. Your duty cycle is 1% on this guy dealing with. Here's your, looks like 8 is your sensitivity on your, yep, same thing, on your RMS. And the range is staying in the same. And your 1.2%. Let's say just round it to 1% here on your cycle. Let's see, let's confirm that. Yeah, it's the same thing. That's the same. 0.10%, 0.1%, and 1%. 0.1%, and what we got here? Duty cycle. You're going to be plus or minus. So if you keep running this on there longer, you're going to lose your accuracy if you keep your leads connected too long. It's your on and off cycle. So if you have it on for 5 seconds, you leave it off for the balance of the one, whatever your ratios are. So if you have it on for 1 second, leave it off for 99.9 set. Oh, this is 1%. This is 0.01. So wow, this is on for 1 second, off for 99 seconds. Yeah, that's not right. I'm not right with my statement to that. You guys do the math on that. It's like 1/10 of a second. All right, diode. Here are diodes, 1.5 milliamps. All right, so this is what I want to see, the diodes. So the diodes are coming out the same. This is the 900 we're looking at. Let's bounce over to the this one. Yeah, so it's balancing out for me. All right, I'm bouncing from here because there's nothing else that I need to really share with you. I'll give you the links to this stuff, or I'll give you the access to the website. You come to the website. You're going to pull up your product, whatever it may be. Here's a 2000A, and one of these are no longer just products. So let's do clamp meter. Let's do this for you real quickly. So here's a clamp meter, and we want Cat 3, Cat 4, I keep saying. Clamp meter Cat 4. Let's try the let's pull this one up. I'm showing you how to work this real quickly. Let's pull up the CL600. Let's pull up the 700 is not that cheap. We won't bother with that one. Let's get you a cheaper product up here, perhaps in cost. And let's pull up the 1200. I think the 1200 is not Cat 3. Cat 4, sorry. And true RMS. And let's jump on the 1000. And let's compare 4 of them at a time. We get a chart that pops up. with that, we can scroll down and see what we got. And let's first look at the cats. This is a cat 4, no, no, and with this selection, the best I can do is CL600. You get your cat 4 and your cat 3 rating. So the 600A, CL600, as you scroll down, it's looking good. And let's go learn more. All right. So it's got the nice drop test, one of their heavy duty, their whatever products they call heavy duty. You come over here to this white chart, hit instructions, and now we're down to its ranging again. Pretty much around page 3 of what I've figured out with this thing, how it was working for, where you're going to run into your accuracies and things like that. We'll jump down there, and we're at the same accuracies, so that is nice. And the ranging is about very manageable. There's the 2. 2% plus or minus. So there you have, the 600. The 600 looks pretty nice too, for a product to grab hold of and get your testing. It does not do diodes. So diode testing, you're going to be out on your own. Still going to get a diode tester, which is not a terrible thing. Let's see if we can do diode. So they do have a digital manual range, 600 volts. This is, where are you, baby? Let's just compare these two together. Now we're in diodes. We don't need that cat products. .600 volts. Still got cat 3 on it. That is nice. So that 400. Now let's jump down and just pick out the accuracy. So learn more. Let's jump right to the accuracy of diode testing. So we go to instructions again, and let's jump to the diode. Nice accuracy on it. Good duty cycle. Well, you're not going to leave it on there long anyway. You're just going to test and move off. There's your diode. So 1.4 milliamps max diode, and I believe this is 600. This is the 800, I think. I'll verify that after we look at the diode on it. .5. They're doing the same thing. Well, I like the clamp meter. All right, so what else did I want to show you with this before we jump out of this one? I showed you the temperature gauge is terrible. If you're going to use this, you should not be bothering with it. It's 2%, plus or minus 2%, plus 9 degrees Fahrenheit when you're down here. When you between 33 and 75 degrees, you still have 5.4 up or down, plus 1%. First plus 1% and 5.4. So whatever your reading is, if it's 100, you plus or minus 1%, so it could be 99 or 100, and then you add 5.4% to that. So it could be 99 plus, so it could be 104 for your reading. When in reality, it could be just 99, could be 100. So you don't get too crazy about trying to follow that. What else do I have over here? I think I have something else over here for you. Leads, yes. These are leads. You want to go cat. Here's a cat. These are Cat 3 leads and Cat 5 leads. So they're can be found everywhere from Amazon, etc. I'm going to the Amazon page, but this is not what I'm telling you to buy it. But you'll see this here. It says Cat 2. This one says Cat 4. Did I say Cat 3 again on the other one? So this one says Cat 4. So, you know, clearly that would be, if they're truly tested, really are, and they're not like some junk. You know, you can't trust these other countries. You can't trust them if they can't get sued. Here's the labeling proving their testing. This one, I don't know if it's got any tests proving anything. Let's click it. If they're bragging about their testing, it's got names on it. Complies with IEC and okay, so there's your. That's what it's saying it's complying with. So you'd have to look up your compliance with IEC and National Electric Code, and when did it comply? You know, is this an old testing or new testing or what have you? Also, just look up the general failure of it. You know, Google them, whatever product you buy. But they seem like you might be okay to jump on that. I'm terminating the video. Hopefully, this was helpful to help you with Klein products and figuring out which Klein tool is right for you, as they say, and not and to understand what you're looking for, and not to just look at the charts here to run it down there. Now, one more thing, as I said in the previous video, Cat 3 is really what you want. You want your cats. You want your rangers. Your cats. Where are you? See if I can jump over here and find it for you. That's bolts. I got to do a bolt video for you guys. Really want to explain to you about let me grab it. Now that's other stuff to deal with. Appraisal guidelines. I guess you guys don't want to hear about appraisal guidelines when I'm dealing with this. Yeah, I've got a huge anchor bolt video I'm going to do for you guys. And all this is not. This is all for naught. Okay, so I'm terminating the video. It was basically make sure you use a Cat 3 if you're going inside that panel. If you're going inside that panel, let's try that. Electrical categories. Okay, I want to show you that you want to make sure your category is correct, and I'll give you this, National Instruments. You want to make sure you're operating the cat. Look, Cat 1, 2, 3, and 4. This category refers to origins of installation or utility level measurements on primary overcurrent protection devices and on ripple control units. Okay, the one that a lot of people like the Harbor Freight only goes to Cat 3. Not to Cat 4. This category refers to measurements on hardwired equipment and fixed installation equipment, distribution panels, and circuit breakers. Other examples are wiring, including cables, bus. So, you know, you go outside, you want to test it at your meter. This does not belong out there. This one I can go out there and test that meter if I know that the voltage coming in will stay under my Cat 4 requirements. Cat 1 and Cat 2, yeah, you're going to ask for it. Do not use those little cheap red meters from Harbor Freight and all that. If they don't have these Cat ratings on them, then you shouldn't use it unless you're using on a battery or something of, you know, insignificance. Again, I don't trust Harbor Freight. I don't trust the Chinese. They do not have any, you know, honor. They don't have an honor system. They don't care. You know, they steal people's products and they re-engineer them, and I mean they reverse engineer them, add their products in there, and they use cheaper boards and everything. I've had so much junk from there that I keep wanting to experiment with, and I played around with their meters just to see what would happen if they would burn up while I had on real electrical gloves. Oh yeah, the boards burn up. They can't take it. You tap off onto where it says it's supposed to be a Cat 3, and the boards burn up. And so that's what brought me to the video of bashing the heck out of Harbor Freight at that point, because they don't guarantee it. 90 days they guarantee it. And I got around to testing, and it showed it just failed. I could show you the tooling on that, but no reason to. Cat 4 again, this is where you want to be. So here's your Cat 4 and Cat 3. So IEC, this is different quality. This is one testing, and this is another testing. And if you use the charts on each one, so here's Cat 3 under using this chart, they're telling you max volt is 2,500 volts. Whereas you use IEC, they're saying it's 4,000 volts. I'm sorry, I got to compare Cat 3 and Cat 3. And you can see they're marrying up. See, 8,000, but over here, 8,000, 2 ohms, right? But the IEC steps it up to Cat 4, and now you've got a different range you can now work with under Cat 4. This does not have a Cat 3. So when you see UL listing on your UL 610 10B-1 or this here, then you know that you're only going to be in Cat 3. You've got to come up to here to get to Cat 4, and it gives you a different rating, your higher protections. I'm going to terminate this video. Thanks, guys.